So I kind of flew from Texas to Cancun to Mexico, and I decided to kind of do a travel up all the way to Mexico City, just kind of via bus or however. So I started off in Cancun, and it's an okay town. There actually isn't very much there except for the commercial side, which is all these shops that you can find anywhere in the world, lots of malls and lots of bars and clubs, because it is the party town. But that wasn't really that I wasn't really into that stuff. So I decided to go to Chichen Itza, and Chichen Itza is I guess they call it pyramids. Yeah, the pyramids built by the Mayans. I don't know the history, but if you have a tablet and Google, I'm sure you find your way into Chichen Itza. It's pretty commercial, I have to say. I decided to, I wasn't very sure about taking the tour or not, because it was going to cost like 58 ringgit, $58, which I calculated to 186 ringgit, and I was like, why? It's just pyramids. But it included the transport to pick you up from the hostel, and then you get lunch, and you get to the cenote, and then the cenote is cenote are the caves with the just kind of water in the caves, I guess, like a lake, pond. I could be very wrong, and I should really get the definition of that. But I calculated it, and I thought, okay, if I would have just gone by myself, because I was really considering in the middle of it, why didn't I do this myself? It would have cost something like $34. $34 is 110 ringgit to just get the bus to go there and to come back, because from Cancun to Chichen Itza, it's about 2 to 3 hours on a bus ride, and you don't get lunch and all that. But I don't know, I actually felt like, well, that was the only time I decided to do the tour, because I felt that there was a lot of time spent doing absolutely nothing. So the beginning part of this is just me just kind of taking a little stroll into shops, because that was the first thing that we went to, just a souvenir shop. Which at the end of the day, the tour guide actually said, don't buy anything here, because this is double the price. You just can go buy it in Chichen Itza itself. Yes. So why were we there for 25 minutes? I actually really don't know. But here's basically just a little shot of that. I said, why not? I want to go into the temple now. So after the shopping tour, we ended up having lunch, and we had lunch at this huge restaurant that's really made for tourists. You get buses loads of tourists there, long line of buffet. And just the most embarrassing part I felt was, you get some of the local Mayan dancers. They were dancing with like, I don't know, a bottle of beer or something on their head and turning around and clapping. And I could not, for the life of me, just record any of that. I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to eat, and I'm just going to wait again to get myself to Chichen Itza. It took forever, my gosh. So it was a lot longer a tour. It takes about 2 hours to get there. Then it's the shop, and then it's a restaurant to eat. The food was alright. They did have the vegan, vegetarian option, which was nice. But I could have done without the dancing. Eventually, we got to Chichen Itza. So the beginning clip of this is just as I'm walking, and you can see a bunch of locals selling their souvenirs, $1, almost free. And eventually you get past that, and that's my tour guide. I decided to go with the English group because
Sinkhole. See, this is Chichen Itza, not this one. This is the pyramid of Kukulkan, remember? See? This is Chichen Itza, at the mouth of the well of the priest of water. Because right here, at the mouth of the well, the priest used to sacrifice virgin ladies. Well, that was a myth. But yes, the priest used to sacrifice people in here. See? So that's why it's named at the mouth of the well of the priest of water. This is Chichen Itza. See? The temple behind, as I was mentioning in the past, is dedicated to Kukulkan. Kukun means highlands of Chiapas or Guatemala. You find this bird. This is what you will hear. Listen. You hear that? This is the song of this quetzal bird. See? With the song, they represent the feathers. Feather, serpent, Kukulkan. Get it? Get it? A couple of years ago, National Geographic made it here. They measure the sound. See? They compare with the song of this quetzal bird. It's the same.
It's amazing.
Here it is. Well, it's time for you to do it. We all together at the count of three, okay? Una, dos, tres. So strong, taking it out of the underworld. Imagine how hard he hit the ball, that the sun is that high. It's Mayan mythology, okay? It's Mayan mythology. The bad guys, they have to go out and rescue the ball. On the time, the guy that survived goes and rescue the head of his brother, place it back, became alive. But like the bad guys couldn't reach the ball, the sun, they come back. When they come back, the guy that survived passed the ball, made it with the armadillo shell, remember? Pass it. When the bad guys try to hit it, get broken. They cannot play anymore. The good guys defeat the bad guys. They come out and they create the human being, the Mayas. Mayan people believe so. And to please the gods for being offering their lives to give us life, they decide to recreate the same thing. And of course.
And then after that, I think, what did I do? Yeah, we got an hour to kind of walk around, and I got very, very, very burnt. I guess without a tour, you can't really, there's no kind of signs to say what this building is about and what is that building about. It's all very, I don't know, very kind of plain, I suppose. But yeah, so I just kind of ended up sitting down for a while, and eventually we ended up going to a town for another 10 to 15 minutes, doing absolutely nothing. I'm not sure what we were doing in that town. No, I think that was Merida. Was it Merida? I don't know. Wherever we were, again, another 10, 15 minutes, I'm not sure, doing nothing really, just kind of taking pictures of this very small kind of colonial style Mexican town, I suppose, which was okay. It's just that I don't remember signing up for this. But anyway, if it was part of the package. Eventually, we ended up at the cenote, which is the next clip you'll see, I think, like a, I don't know if the video is actually really, really dark, or if you can see it, because it's actually really, really beautiful. It's in a cave. You go down into this cave, and there's this big pool of water. It was nice for about 5 minutes, and then a swarm of tourists like ourselves came, but in a busload. So it just ended up being a little bit annoying. So we jumped in. It was freezing. I did it though, and then came out, and then we decided, you know what, that's it. And so that was the end of our Chichen Itza thing. Do I recommend it? You know, I guess because it was my first one, I suppose yes, but then because I did all the other temples and I found them even more magnificent, yeah, I don't know. Chichen Itza, a little bit touristy, a little bit commercial. I say there's plenty others that were a lot more impressive, and that will be in the next video. So thank you very much for watching. Ciao, or adios.